All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this is Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly gathering with the greatest fans on the planet where we celebrate all things Michael Myers and the Halloween movie franchise. So if you're new here, welcome. And I see we already have a special guest, it looks like, in the live chat tonight. We're going to talk about him in just a second. And to all of our returning friends, what is up, guys? Happy Michael Myers Monday. You're here. You made it. Like I always say, if you're here, it's Monday night. It means you made it through at least another week. You made it through another Monday, and for some of us, that in itself is a challenge, like surviving a night with Michael Myers, sometimes it feels like. So if you're here, like I always say, that in itself is reason to celebrate, so that's what we're doing tonight. We're celebrating, we're hanging out. Thanks for joining me. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. How is everybody doing this week? Right off the bat, I'm turning over here to look in the live chat, and I see that Lurch has just become our most recent Halloween Daily Club member. So that gives me a perfect segue to go ahead and plug membership real quick. It's just $5 a month, and you get to see certain pre-recorded videos early before they go public, and other cool member benefits. And really, it's just a way that you can help support us. Some channels do Patreon and stuff like that. We do memberships here on YouTube. So, Lurch, welcome right off the bat, everybody. Raise one up. Let's welcome a new member to the channel. Thanks for your support, Lurch. Andromeda is in here as well, another one of our esteemed channel members. Glad to see she's not on the road driving this evening. And I think I saw that Great Daeg himself has chimed in. I believe that is the one and only, the man of the hour, so to speak, that we are celebrating this week, Mr. Daeg Faerch, also known as Great Daeg. And as you know, we're going to be premiering a preview clip from my brand new exclusive interview with Daeg, and I'm going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. So thank you for hanging out and joining us tonight, sir. Hope you're doing well. Let's see, scrolling all the way back up, I see Megan was checking in early tonight. Good to see you. Sarah Holmes as well, one of the first ones in. Michael Myers, of course. Brad's music channel is here. Madam Sunflower 420, I like that name. David Suber, of course. Good to see you, man. Teen Wolf is in the house. Mike Johnston is here as well. Let's see who else. I saw Phil in there. Rob. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you guys. Lurch, of course, our new channel member. The October has checked in, letting us know that it is just 218 days until Halloween. I appreciate that notice. Let's see who else is in here. Michael Myers, once again, expressing his silence, of course. I would expect nothing less. And nothing more. Tim Leo, what's up, man? Let's see who else has checked in tonight. Let's scroll back down here and get caught up. Let's see. Phil is in the house. Josh Baker, what's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Brett Patrick, another channel member. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Halloween Vibes has checked in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Before we get in to what little bit of news I've got this week, it's not a whole lot, but we're going to talk a little bit about 45 Years of Terror. We're going to talk a lot about my interview with Daeg. We're going to world premiere about 5 minutes from that interview. And a few other little things we're going to talk about as well. A little flashback to a convention flashback as we're looking back through celebrating this franchise on its 45th anniversary this year. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do last week's poll results. We'll launch this week's poll. And, of course, Michael Myers Monday shout-outs. But one thing I like to do at the top of these shows, just for a few minutes, and usually it's something new for my own collection. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's something that we have in stock in our online store at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. So I was thinking this week it isn't a new item to my collection. It's something that's been in my collection for a while, but I've never shared it with you guys and shown it off. So I figured it was very appropriate for this week. And let me reach over here and grab it, and you'll see why I chose this item specifically to feature on this week's show and tell, because this is my young Michael Myers Halloween '07 mask. But interestingly enough, I love this mask. It is almost a faithful replica of Daeg's mask as young Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween '07. But this actually is not an officially licensed Halloween mask. Interesting to note, I purchased this from Spirit Halloween a few years back. It's been wow, it's been a long time. It's been over 10 years because it was pre-HDN. We had not launched HD Halloween Daily News yet, and we launched in 2012, so sometime before then. Obviously, sometime after '07. So maybe around the time of the sequel, maybe even around 2010, 2011. I don't know. In any case, sold at Spirit Halloween, not as a Myers mask, but as a clown mask. And it's still got the tag on the back and everything. I don't remember what I paid for it. It was very reasonably priced. And again, you can look at the stills on the movie. It doesn't match up 100%, but it is damn close, and I love it. And it hangs right on the wall, right up there with my 78s, and also right on the wall right next to my 78 Young Myers clown mask. So there we go. Not new to my shelf, but one of my favorite pieces from my own personal collection right there. Alert says coolest kid Mike ever. Brutal kills and a Kiss fan. Yeah, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Well, before we get into discussing this new interview, I do have a little bit of news, and part of that you're seeing Daeg confirm right here in the live chat, because I did want to let you guys know that one of the things you will see in that interview is Daeg did let us know that he is locked in and will definitely be appearing as a guest at this fall's 45 Years of Terror franchise reunion event out there in Pasadena. It's happening the last weekend of September 29th, 30th, and October 1st is the day 3 of the festival, of the convention, I should say. And, we've talked about 45 Years of Terror a little bit. We talked about it a lot last week. Sean actually chimed in the live chat a little bit for us last week. No official announcements as of yet. We are on constant watch. We're checking Halloween45.com every day, a few times a day, checking in with Sean, bugging our friends, and seeing when things are made a little bit more official. But what we do know are the dates, of course, the location, Pasadena Convention Center, and as I said last week, it's pretty much goes without saying, especially given Sean's recent comments on his channel, that yes, all of the Michael Myers actors, all of the living Michael Myers actors, except the one that'll remain nameless tonight, they are all going to be there, and I think that goes without saying. It is going to be the largest assembly of Michael Myers actors and just franchise alums, be it in front and behind the camera, that has ever been assembled for any event. So it is going to be a landmark event, to say the least. So nothing has been announced officially, but technically we do know that Christopher Nelson is going to be a guest. They said so on their channel. We also know now, we can confirm, Daeg, as you're seeing in the live chat here tonight, he confirms himself that he too will be among the guests there. We're also excited to report that our friends over at the Halloween Lives podcast, they just dropped an interview today, as a matter of fact, as well, of their own with Brad Lorry of Halloween Resurrection. Of course, he plays Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection. And in that interview, Brad confirms that he too is going to be there at 45 Years of Terror. So again, 3 guests confirmed, not officially announced yet, but and these guys aren't huge surprises, I understand. You know, I think we all expected that all of the Michael Myers actors are going to be back, if at all possible. Obviously, if Daeg or any of these guys are filming or they have another gig come up, then that might supersede this. But it's great to hear that they're all getting excited. It gets me more excited. Also, in that interview with Brad over on the Halloween Lives podcast channel, you might have seen. I did watch the interview, guys. Great job. I enjoyed it, of course. And Brad mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis, that he had heard maybe that she might be a guest there as well. And I don't take that, certainly that's not confirmation. And even he says in the interview that, yeah, I'd heard she was going to be there, but that was before the Oscar, and who knows what after the Oscar and all that stuff. So with all due respect to Brad and everybody there, I'm definitely not going to go running to the bank quite yet with that tidbit of info. But I know that's on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to keep asking. But as to that question with Jamie Lee Curtis, my response would be, don't focus on that. Because that's going to be something that's probably not going to be announced until the very end, and it might change at the last minute, as these things do. I would say don't go for that. Go for all of this other historic significance of this event, because it is historic for this genre and for this franchise. No other franchise in this genre can pull something like this off, much less every 5 years like it's been doing. So go for all of this. And then, if it happens, if the stars align and she's announced, well, then that's just a pretty awesome bonus right there. But so there you go. A couple of guests that we know now are going to be there. And I want to hear from you, of course, in the live chat. Who are you thinking else is going to be announced? Who's going to be in that first batch of announcements? If you'll remember, going back to 2018, the very first batch of announcements, it was like over 30 guests. It was pretty much the lineup, bigger than most regular conventions, full lineup of guests. And that was just the first batch of guests that were announced that year. They weren't announced that year until well into the summer months. But I do anticipate it'll probably be a little bit earlier than that before more of this starts coming out, including some of the vendor info and vendor exclusives that we talked about last week. So, if you're watching this on a replay or here in the live chat, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Of course, here in the live chat. Who else do you hope is going to be appearing this year? What first-time guests that maybe weren't there 5 years ago or have never appeared at one of these events? We talked last week about how Sean was mentioning that there's going to be at least over 10 first-time guests. That's a lot, if you ask me. And that's just the beginning, it sounds like. So, very, very exciting news, to say the least. All right, I'm going to take a breath right here and turn over to the live chat and see what you guys are saying. Let's see, Patrick Ring has checked in, another channel member. Good to see you here, sir. Ha 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 ha. Yes, great Daeg hanging with you guys. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Drecklock checks in. They've got to get Paul Rudd. He's done conventions before, just never a Halloween convention. I think that would be an amazing get, honestly. I'd love for him to get Paul Rudd. Yeah, I think that would be huge. Andromeda says Dick Warlock said he thought Brad Laree was his favorite. Yes, and when I have spoken with Dick Warlock as well, he told me that as well. Speaking of 45 Years of Terror, I can't talk about this year's event without talking about 40 Years of Terror. That's where I got this shirt. That's where I met some of you guys. And that's where we conducted a lot of interviews with various illustrious members of this franchise. And Brad is one of those in that interview. You can find anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com in the interviews section. I didn't think to link it in the description before we started here tonight, but once we're done, I will add that, and be sure to check that out when you get a chance, and head over to the Halloween Lives podcast if you haven't checked them out. They're doing new episodes every week, and it's they don't have a guest every single week, but they've had some guests, and I was actually one of them. I was their first guest, proud to say. So if you haven't watched their episode 3, that's a good one. Go hear what that guy has to say. Let's see here. Phil is in the house. What's up, man? Lurch says maybe John Carpenter is a guest. Hey, I would say anything's possible, just like with JLC. You know, I would say don't hold your breath. Certainly don't hold your breath, but anything is possible at this point. You know, in 2018, John was on tour overseas on the weekend of that event. But if he's just chilling at home, you know, I mean, who knows? Drake says, hope Daniel Farrens is there. Yes, Farrens is awesome. Interviewed him a few years ago as well. It'd be great to see him at 45 Years of Terror. Interesting picks. All right, we're seeing some Thorn love here tonight. Some Curse love specifically. I like it. Teen Wolf says, notice the remake clown mask resembles the new Corey Scarecrow mask a little bit. I had not thought about that. Maybe we'll have to do a side-by-side comparison, especially when I get that Scarecrow mask in hand. Um, I mean, I kind of picked up on a general likeness just in the smiling of the Scarecrow and Michael's clown from when he was a kid, being just a smiling character. But yes, as far as the shape of the Scarecrow mask, I see what you mean there. I do think it has a similar profile and kind of that old school, just over the face, almost an old school Ben Cooper esque feel to it. I can see that. The October's asking how much tickets are going to be for the convention and how much they have cost at past conventions. I don't remember right offhand. If you guys, I know some of you have been before, you probably have the information right offhand and can help us out in the live chat. Josh says that clown mask is huge. Yes, it is huge, but it's got to be for my big head. That's why I love it. Yeah, I have not seen it at Spirit Halloween since that year we got it. And again, I don't remember the exact year, but it was pre 2012. So, and Jeremiah would like to see a pic of Daeg with Will Sand and the two young Michaels. Absolutely. I think maybe that's something we could work to put together. We've talked to Will a couple of times, and if we're going to do that, yeah, let's get all the young Michaels. Let's get our friend Eric Preston, who played young Michael in H4, in there as well. Let's get them all together. You know, just like we do all the Michaels. I think that's a good idea. That'd be a lot of fun. Yes, Daeg says not sure about Rob, but gonna try to see if Tech Nine can slide in so they can play their song. Yes, we talked about his collaboration with Tech Nine. If you guys haven't listened to that, Tech Nine, obviously a big horror fan. If you didn't know, big Michael Myers fan specifically. I love his song Triple M, Michael Myers Mask. Of course, Triple M to us has a different meaning, Michael Myers Monday, but it works all the same as an anthem for this show, right? Um, yeah, that would be amazing, man. What do you guys think? Wouldn't you love if you were there at the 45th? Maybe it'd be something, a surprise for the VIP party or something. I know they had Alan Howarth play during the VIP party last year, or maybe even something, you know, during one of the Q&A times or something. I don't know. But would you guys freak out to see Daeg playing on stage? And how about adding Tech Nine into it? I told Daeg when we talked last week that I think Tech Nine, if he knows about it, and again, if he's not on tour or committed to be somewhere else, I think he'd want to be there. Honestly, he's that big of a fan. All right, let's move into this conversation then, because we are here. Our friend Great Daeg, also known as Daeg Faerch, is here in the live chat with us. You'll remember last week during Michael Myers Monday Live, I mentioned that I had an interview coming up, and it was one of the last few remaining men who have played this iconic character on screen that I haven't had the chance yet to interview. I hadn't yet, but now I can check another one off the list, and it was my pleasure and honor. We talked last Tuesday, and Daeg is just an awesome dude. I know you guys are going to really enjoy our conversation, as I did. As I always do, you guys, regular viewers, know I love doing these interviews, and anytime I can have anybody from this franchise on here, and we can talk about these movies and just geek out together and just get new perspectives and also learn how this fandom and this phenomenon and this unkillable beast that is this franchise has touched so many lives in so many different ways. And Daeg, of course, is no exception. You know, you guys know the story. I mean, Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween remake. Daeg plays young Michael Myers, and I told him I was watching the film, you know, in prep. I was watching it for like the 100th time in the last week in prepping for our interview, and it occurred to me maybe for the first time that Daeg has the most dialogue of any other Michael Myers actor ever in history. Um, and you know, there is some dialogue to be said in some of those other instances, a little bit here and there, but as young Michael Myers. But I mean, this Michael talks. So in many ways, this is the voice of Michael Myers. And when you watch '07, the one of the cool things that Rob does, and he talks about this in his commentary track that I love, is that, you know, once we get to adult Michael, you know, we see Daeg's version of Michael go into Smith's Grove, and he starts wearing the masks more and more constantly, and you see all of that interaction in there, all of which I think is great. I'm a big fan of those sequences, and then when we jump in and it becomes Tyler, and we never again see Michael unmasked until the sequel, of course. But in that film, we see Tyler always masked, and it very effectively has that face, Daeg's face that we saw in almost the first half of the movie. Almost, I mean, because you forget that it's not just 5 or 10 minutes. You know, that Judith sequence in the opening of the original film, what is it, 8 or 9 minutes? You know, he takes that and runs with it and really gives us the whole first of 3 acts in that movie, and it's some of the best stuff. And of course, Daeg's performance is a huge part of that, and why we all love it. So, needless to say, you guys know I was super excited to do this interview. You know, as I always am, whether it's somebody I know already and we've talked to before, but in this case, you know, somebody I haven't had a one-on-one conversation like this before. And it's funny because we were at 40 Years of Terror. Daeg was there, you know, and I wanted to get over there and talk to him, had every intention to, but things just get crazy at any convention, and that one is kind of the craziest for us, or has been so far. And we just weren't able to cross paths for whatever reason. So started to correct that a little bit here this week. But again, I appreciate Daeg hanging out with us. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to take a breath and a drink here, and I'm going to premiere a clip from this interview. Now, the full interview is going to drop on Wednesday. Okay, that'll be up Wednesday morning. It runs about 45 minutes long, and you know, it's how we do our interviews. We like to cover as much of the origin story as possible. And with Daeg, you know, we talked about his earliest acting experiences, his memories and experiences on set of playing Michael Myers, and everything since then, including his music and current projects. Now, this clip that we're going to look at here tonight, it's about 5 minutes long, but this is some key elements of the interview because I really like this portion that I picked out for you guys specifically because you're going to hear um, a large part of Daeg's origin story, as I like to say, and kind of where he comes from, and kind of the unlikely um, place, seemingly unlikely, but I found it to be actually very relatable, in fact. But the maybe unlikely place that you might be surprised to learn that he first experienced performing and being on stage, and what would later lead to acting and music and everything. Um, Also, I find it very interesting the state of mind and the place in life that he and his mom were in at the time that they got this audition for a Rob Zombie project that you'll hear him explain. They didn't even know it was going to be Halloween. Um, that wouldn't have meant much to him at the time because, as you'll hear, in not tonight but in other portions of the interview, he wasn't familiar. He was a 11-year-old kid. He wasn't familiar at the time with the character, with the movies, or any of that. It was another audition. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking for a minute, and we're going to play this clip. It's about 5 minutes long, and then we'll come back in and talk about that and a few other things here tonight before we get into poll results, shoutouts, and more. All right, guys, here we go. A preview, an exclusive preview. I like to do this whenever possible, something special for you guys. I mean, you guys especially, the Michael Myers Monday crowd, the live crowd here. I love all of you guys. I love all of our subscribers. I love all of our readers on the website, all of our followers on all the socials. But you guys that tune in on the Monday nights, the live crew, the Michael Myers faithful, the legion of Myers here, I try to hook you guys up with something exclusive whenever I can. And so tonight, I am excited to give you this exclusive first look premiere clip from our exclusive interview with Great Daeg, aka Daeg Faerch, talking about getting his start in acting and also talking about getting the part of Michael Myers in Halloween 07. All right, I'm going to stop talking now, and you can check it out.
Before my mom had me, she was a world-renowned burlesque dancer. Traveled around the world doing all that stuff.
Cool.
But then when she had me, bless her soul, she really invested her time and energy and everything, right, into like making a good kid,
Yeah.
really. So she took me to church and stuff as a child, and I seen church plays, and so once I could start talking, I was like, I kind of want to do that, like I remember, I think I was one of the three wise men for a church play.
Mm-hmm.
And then that started growing into like bigger plays and stuff. I was part of a local theater group, Poor Players. We did a lot of Shakespeare. I played like Son of Hamlet in one and like some other stuff, and then that started to transition into film through student films. And I personally like film acting more than theater acting. They're both cool for their own reasons, but I'm more of a film guy myself. So then, started doing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of student films. Do you feel me? And then it was kind of funny too. We were starting to be like, okay, maybe, because my mom's family's from Canada, and we're down here in San Diego, just her and I. Okay. And we were kind of starting to think like maybe we should just go to Canada, go to Canada. There's family there, whatever. And then I got this audition, and we didn't even realize, because the audition was for Rob Zombie's Untitled Halloween project.
Okay.
I didn't listen to much metal at that time, so we thought it was going to be like a zombie type of project, like Halloween, zombie, okay, spooky. And we actually turned down the audition a couple times because living in San Diego, going up to LA, we always tried to line it up like at least a couple auditions. You feel me?
Yeah.
So eventually we ended up lining it up, and with that one audition, I got it.
That's amazing. I was going to ask about that, what you remembered from the audition process, and you say even before getting there that it came at a time where you guys were considering maybe relocating, like you said. That's
Yeah,
interesting to me. You know that it was kind of at a pivotal moment where this came. It sounds like.
definitely. I usually like tell people if they're like, "Do you have any advice on whether it's acting, music, or whatever?" And it's just don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Like there's so many people that are going to tell you no. Don't be the person that's going to tell you yourself no, because then you won't make it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So what do you remember from that audition process? You said it just took the one audition.
Yeah, yeah. I remember going in there and thinking maybe I wasn't gonna get it
Hmm.
because most of the kids in the audition room that were also waiting to be seen, or I'd assume the same part,
Hmm.
were all a few inches shorter than me and had short brown hair.
Okay.
So I'm like, I mean, I'm still gonna do the audition. I'm here, but all right,
Hmm.
probably not gonna get it. One of these shorter, short brown haired kids. Well, that's what it looks like they want.
Hmm.
But yeah, I vaguely remember doing the audition. The audition tape is actually up on YouTube, I think. So that might be where that memory is stored from.
Yeah.
Just see the video because it's been so long now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I don't even think those scenes were used in the actual movie because we were talking about going through the woods and like hiding a dead cat or something for the audition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do remember. It might be on one of the DVD bonus features. I think maybe they've got some of that anyway. And that is interesting that it was scenes that didn't even were never even shot at all. And I
Right.
also love that the acting kind of started on stage at church doing church plays. Which a lot of us grew up church plays as well as kids. But I love that to go and not too long after that, here you are, getting cast as Michael Myers. So when you're
About
in there,
7 years. About 7 years is what it took of the grinding from theater to student film to Halloween.
wow. So how old were you when you got that?
Halloween, I was
Yes.
11.
All right. So there you go, guys. Just a little taste of what's to come. Um, hopefully that was a tasty bite for you, though. I try to, like I said, I try to hook you guys up with something tasty here on Michael Myers Monday Live. The full interview is going to drop this Wednesday morning. Okay. So make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss it and look for it. We will have an article version uh, come out on the website, HalloweenDailyNews.com, sometime tomorrow afternoon with a few more quotes from the interview in there. So if you want yet another preview, you can check that out tomorrow evening. And then, like I said, the full interview will be up here on the channel and also at HalloweenDailyNews.com on Wednesday morning. Um, like I said, regular viewers know this. I mean, this should come as no surprise. And if you're new here, and you're not a big fan of the Rob Zombie films, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to argue with you. To each their own. That's they're certainly not for everybody, and I totally respect and get that. And but regular viewers know I'm somebody that loves them. I love all the movies in this franchise. I love the new ones. I love the Rob Zombie movies, and I love talking to the people that made them. As I said in the live chat a minute ago, I actually have really loved all of Rob's movies. So yeah, color me a Rob Zombie fan, please. So again, a big honor and a pleasure for me because I watch the films regularly, like all of you guys. And as I told Daeg and when we talked the other day, it's been a long time coming. I wanted to talk to him, but I wanted the time to be right too. I wanted to be able to do it the right way and to have some perspective. I think now with this being the 45th anniversary of the whole franchise, and last year was the 15th anniversary of that film, of the remake. It's been 16 years now, and as you heard right at the end of that clip, he was 11 making the film, and so now to be an adult and to have some adult perspective and some distance on that and be able to look back and talk about those memories. It's fascinating. And this hasn't really been a conscious thing that we've tried to do, but if you've watched a lot of our interviews over the last few months, really, um, it's just kind of worked out that we've talked to a lot of people that are either very young performers right now or are young adults who, made a big impact in the genre at a young age. We talked to Quinn Lord, who played Sam in Trick or Treat. We talked to just recently. We talked to Amy Donald, who plays Megan in the hit film Megan. We talked to Amelie, who played Amelie McLean, who plays the Pale Girl in Terrifier 2. So it's been fun to talk to some of these people and to find out what it was like. Because as a lot of them have told me, it was fun for them as kids. Quinn says that on the set of Trick or Treat, and Daeg talks a little bit about that as well. Except for one moment on set where he says he was actually legitimately scared. I'm not going to spoil that, though. You can find out what scene that is during the full interview, like I said, when that drops this Wednesday. And there's going to be lots more exclusive interviews coming your way here on the HDN channel. I've got another one we're recording later on this week outside of this franchise, but it's going to be another interview that's going to drop next week that has to do with another horror franchise that I think you're going to like. And I've been in contact recently with a few other people who are involved in this franchise, and we're going to be talking to them very soon as well. So a lot going on as we celebrate the 4.5 decades of Michael Myers. Holy shit. It's just crazy to think about. It's truly amazing. And when you think about 45 years of terror, I get so excited. I get goosebumps because we had such an amazing time in 2018. And a lot of that had to do with connecting with you guys and just being around like-minded people, our people, in other words, you guys. So I can't wait. Teen Wolf says, get Rob on board to remake Motel Hell. Now, that would be interesting. Andromeda says that he said Chainsaw is Rob's favorite. Yes. Yeah, I think that one is, you can see that influence a lot in Devil's Rejects, but also in House of a Thousand Corpses a lot, too. Rob talked about the bookstore scene in H2. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in those films that, as I say all the time, you've got to get over the fact that Rob did his own thing with these films, and I talked about this a little bit with Daeg, but I appreciate the fact that this is a monster movie in the tradition of the monster movies that Rob grew up on, the old classics, where the Wolfman and the Frankenstein monster, they were not necessarily the bad guy. I mean, they were the monster. They were killing people. They were bad in that sense, but they were, they were the more sympathetic villain. And in the remake, Michael was still pure evil, but it is a more sympathetic version of this character. It's not John Carpenter's The Shape, where it's just pure darkness, pure evil for no rhyme or reason. That is what it is, and that is very much what David Gordon Green tried to tap back into in these recent films, and leaves us with ends where it's something not even, it's something bigger than just that character, where it bleeds out into other characters and other avenues in that society and that version of the telling. Rob's telling is very different. It's not The Shape. It's Michael Myers, and Daeg. He's our first. He's our intro to that. He's our way in to this vision. And I'll just never forget seeing that movie the first time I saw it in theaters. Man, it was just so refreshing to me. I couldn't believe it, because not to take anything away from Resurrection or H2O or any of the other movies. I enjoyed all of them, but I knew Rob was going to do something crazy, wild, inventive, different, because I had seen The Devil's Rejects. I had seen House of a Thousand Corpses. I had been a fan of his since back in the White Zombie days. So, I knew it was going to be something wild and crazy. But I just loved it. I remember watching that movie with a big old fat smile on my face the whole time I was sitting in the theater. And yeah, so and the differences in it, like I always say, I mean, to each their own. I get people that don't want to watch it because it just doesn't, but personally, I can separate things and can like different flavors at the same time. It's all ice cream, but I can like, more than one flavor at the same time. You know what I mean? And I think you guys, for the most part, feel the same way I do on that. All right. I want to show you guys something interesting here. In just a minute, I'm going to show you an interesting flashback. Daeg, you are so welcome, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out here in the live chat this evening. And absolutely, thank you for your time, for the conversation, for the interview. I know it will not be our last. Of course, it will not be our last. But I think it was a great first. I see Andy Matichek in the live chat too. I don't know if that's the real Andy, but we'll welcome Andy anyway. Happy Michael Myers Monday, whoever you are. Let's see who else is in here. The Rob Zombie Halloweens have grown on me. I like them now, but my preference timeline is the OG H1 through H6, says Dreklock. Yes, that was one of our poll questions a few weeks ago, was all of the different timelines. What's your favorite? Because I love, starting with 2018, how this franchise just wholeheartedly embraced the fact that, yeah, we are a choose your own adventure, pick your timeline and run with it franchise. And now it's wide open. Now they can do anything they want. They can continue this story if they want. We could follow Andy's character, Allison, to another town and see what happens there. Or they could, do a whole nother timeline from H1. They could do a whole nother timeline that even ignores H1 but don't even call it a remake. Maybe it's a whole other story. These characters are immortal now in the way that Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Batman, Superman, Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne, all these characters are immortal, and they will outlive us all, of course. Mike Johnston, like the theatrical cut of 07, but not the director's cut. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, typically I like the director's cut more in most cases, and when it comes to Rob's Halloween 2, I definitely recommend the director's cut over the theatrical. But I agree, when it comes to 07, I don't need that extended rape sequence for the escape scene in the director's cut. And I do kind of like, again, because I'm a Rob Zombie fan, I'm a huge fan of House of a Thousand Corpses. I've got Bill Moseley right over here as Otis. I mean, Otis is in, on camera with me, like pretty much every single one of these videos. So I'm a little bit of a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses. But I love that it's the Devil's Rejects in the theatrical cut that are escorting Michael and who he escapes from. I love that it's the Devil's Rejects are in this universe, in Haddonfield, in their universe, they're just the baddest motherfuckers of all time, right? But in Haddonfield, they're the Smiths Grove security guards that Michael Myers escapes from. I just love the symbolic the symbolism of that, whatever it is. Just having seen all of them though in the Devil's Rejects right before going to see this movie, it was pretty surreal. So I agree with you there, and that's one case where I prefer the theatrical. Speaking of which, that will lead into our poll results here in just a minute. But before we get to that, let me share something a little bit fun with you guys. This is a flashback. Again, we're celebrating 45 years of this franchise, and we here at HDN, we talked a lot last year about last year being our 10th anniversary, and I'm always going through our archives and finding stuff that you know, we've shared and have published in many cases, but times change, and we weren't as active here on YouTube, certainly with these live streams and Michael Myers Monday and all that. So there's stuff that some of you guys, some of you new subscribers and viewers and friends may not have seen or might have missed or just might not be aware about. So I am trying to reshare some of that, especially as it pertains to this franchise here on Monday nights. And we'll do more of this as the year goes on. So one of these, I was looking at stuff from 40 Years of Terror, but even before 2018, we went to another big franchise reunion event that actually occurred in 2015. And this one was at Flashback Weekend in Chicago. Now, it wasn't as big as one of the Of Terror reunion events in Pasadena, but it wasn't just Halloween. They did have guests, from other franchises there, but they did have a remarkable amount of iconic talent from this franchise there, including a lot of representatives from the original Halloween, including people like Charles Cyphers, Dean Cundy, Nancy Loomis was there, Tommy Lee Wallace, Nick Castle, Will Sandin, Alan Hallworth was there from his work on the sequels, Don Shanks, George Wilbur, the late great George Wilbur was there, our friend Eric Preston was there, Tamara Glenn was there. It was an amazing lineup, and that's not even all of them. Now, among those guests also from this franchise, there were a few representatives from the Rob Zombie Halloween films. Mainly Scout was there, Scout Taylor Compton, Danielle Harris, and Christina Klebe, right? So we had we were there for 2 days. It was a 3-day convention. We were there for 2 of the days. And those 2 days that we were there, Mike and Mia, the organizers of Flashback Weekend, they really just treated us like royalty and gave us full run of the place, gave us all access. It was amazing. We were able to conduct a lot of great interviews, a lot of which you can read right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. That's actually where I interviewed Tommy Lee Wallace the first time. The first time I interviewed him. I interviewed him a second time in a video interview last year, you guys remember. In any case, all those interviews can be found at the interview section of HalloweenDailyNews.com. But what I want to look at here today is some fun photos that we got at the VIP party. And this, again, we had full permission from Flashback Weekend to be there and to document this historic event. But I want to share a little bit of it, mainly because not everybody, was at the convention was at the VIP party, so you didn't get to see some of the stuff that was going on behind closed doors in there, and but we were fortunate enough to be able to document it for history and for you guys. Now, the first few photos I'm going to look at, we're not going to look at everything from there, but I'm talking about this tonight, and I'm bringing all this up because it does, I try to keep the theme here. It does tie in with Rob Zombie's Halloween remake specifically, and paying homage to the 07 film, or the 07 film, the 78 film, and so forth. Because at this convention, like I said, there was Nick Castle, Tommy Lee Wallace, a bunch of the guys from the original film, and there was the girls from the 07 remake, Scout, Danielle, and Christina. Of course, Danielle, she's franchise royalty, not just from those 2 movies. But so in the VIP party, they were really at a certain moment, it became almost a mock argument, if you understand what I'm saying, where Scout and Christina and Nick were pretending to argue with each other like fans do over, oh, you killed Halloween, the franchise, the remake is better, and we're the new Halloween, you're the old Halloween. And it was all in good fun and good love. But what it really was their very first meeting. Now they're all tight. You're going to see them in Pasadena this fall. They're all, they've connected, but this was their first meeting with the OGs. The OGs' first meeting with the new generation. And again, you've got to go back in time in 2015. Yes, it had been quite a while since the 07-09 films, but they were still the newest thing in this franchise. They were the current in this franchise, if you will, even though it had been 6 or 7 years since those films. So, what we're going to look at first right here is one of the photos that we did publish. And there you can see just everybody sharing a laugh here, circa 2015. That's Scout there on the left, Christina in the center, and the great Nick Castle there on the right. And they're all, you can see Scout and Christina having a huge laugh. I'm just going to give you my behind the scenes commentary as the person that shot these photos. My wife Sue shot some of them too, but and there's Nick. You know, again, they were kind of playing with each other, playing on the fact that you're not the real Halloween, we're the real Halloween, etc. And everybody was just getting a great kick out of it. And then they gave me this shot. The three of them posed for this for me, which I loved. Now, we've published that photo before, that and many others from inside that room. There's another really great one I love from in there. We've published many of these. You can find them in our gallery at HalloweenDailyNews.com. There's another great shot right there that my wife took of me with Scout and Christina. And there's Sue with Christina and Scout. Yeah, it was an amazing time. But what I'm going to show you now is some never before seen content. I mean, never before seen outside of the Halloween Daily News headquarters. I'm digging into our archives. These are some very candid photos from that event of these three individuals. Check it out. Now, here you can see a little bit more of what I was talking about. Nick, now if you didn't know what was going on, you might think there was actually some drama going on here, but they were completely playing it up for the fans and really, quite honestly, for Sue and I with our cameras standing right there. They were playing it up as you're not the real Halloween, we're the real Halloween, you're not the and really giving us some funny stuff. So there's Nick and Scout, you know, having a pointing contest. And we're going to run through a couple of these here. There's another shot of the three of them. Again, these are even more candid than the ones that did run. And here you can see Nick getting really into it. Fun fact, Scout probably doesn't even know this. I'm sure she has no memory of it, but Sue and I will never forget it. On our way down in the elevator down to this event, Scout was in the elevator with us, and we were both a little excited to be sharing that close space with her, and I don't think she took any notice of us at all at the time, but now we're all friends. Here's another great shot. Like I said, Nick really playing it up, Scout's all laughter, and Christina's starting to wonder what is going on. But as you can see, they're all just really laughing and playing it up, not taking any of this real seriously. They were not upset, and it was obvious they weren't. But I just remember this happening, and we just kept shooting. And it was like, what are we gonna even do with these photos? How do we even tell this story? And in large part, ever since then, this story has sat there in our memory banks and most of these photos in our archives until now. And now we're unearthing them, some of them, for the first time here tonight for you. Just a couple more. Again, we've got a lot more, and I will go over some other ones some other time from this event because we do have a lot, both that you've seen if you're a long-time supporter and viewer of the website, and many that you may not have seen, like this one. This one is it's a little blurry, little out of focus, more so than I like for the stuff that we publish. So it didn't get published. But here you go for the first time ever. Look at this trio having a blast. And again, they're playing it up literally for Sue and I as we're standing there like paparazzi taking their picture. I mean, there was a few other cell phones around, I think. But as you can see, clearly giving us these amazing moments right here. And these are the type moments that we look forward to capturing again at 45 Years of Terror and at our other upcoming convention appearances later this year, including Mad Monster Expo and the Haunted Screams Expo. And let's see, do we have any others here? Yeah, got a couple. Again, a few of these, well, you're seeing them for the first time. There's another one. I like that. I mean, Nick clearly having a ball right there. Christina and Scout really getting into it. Danielle was probably somewhere at the other end of the room, like, I don't know what they are doing, what's going on over there. Couple more. All of these you were seeing for the first time. And here they go, starting to break up just a little bit. Oh, here's one more. Nope, a couple more actually. Check this out. Here's a good one. I mean, some of these I have not even looked at myself in years. And again, I mean, you are seeing some photos that aren't even necessarily publish worthy, but for fans of this franchise that know the significance of these three people, just even sharing a frame and sharing good times like this, you guys know. There's a great one of Tommy Lee Wallace and Christina. I don't know exactly what was going on right there, but it's a pretty hilarious candid shot. That should be this week's poll. Caption this. Maybe I'll put that on Instagram. I think I might do that this week. Maybe we'll put that up. We'll tag Christina and Tommy, and we'll ask all of you guys to caption this photo for us. If you're watching this, you can go ahead and caption it right now. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot from that amazing gathering. Oh, see, I thought we were done, and we're gonna be done because it was really that moment where they were kind of playing it up for us that I wanted to talk about for a second. I'm not gonna show all of these here tonight because we'll be here all night. But here's another one you guys will appreciate. Generations collide. One generation's Laurie Strode with another generation's Annie. That's right. The great Nancy Loomis, Nancy Keys, and our friend Scout. There's a wide shot. Nancy and Scout sharing a laugh while Nick and Christina are in deep conversation. Christina looks like she's talking about wearing a mask, maybe. And right over Nick's shoulder, standing right behind him, that's actually Will Sandin. Legends everywhere you look here. Scout Nancy again. Another shot of Nick and Christina. And there they all are. Tommy Lee Wallace, Dean Cundy there on the right. Again, Will Sandin there in the back. Such an epic, legendary gathering. And this wasn't even an official Halloween franchise reunion. This was just an amazing weekend at Flashback Weekend Chicago. All right, we could go on and on. All right, one more. Damn it. This one I really like too. Again, it's kind of three generations of Halloween, and I also love when these guys take a moment and actually give us the photo. And actually, all three of these ladies were amazing enough to take a moment and pose for this really, truly once in a lifetime photo. That is Scout Taylor Compton of the Rob Zombie Halloween films. In the center, that is our friend Tamara Glenn, who played Samantha in Halloween 5. And on the right there, that is Nancy Kyes, also previously known as Nancy Loomis. Of course, played Annie in Halloween and Halloween 2, and Dr. Chalice's ex-wife in Halloween 3. Can you say Halloween royalty? Hell yes. All right. Let me hear your comments right now on these flashback photos. These are never before seen exclusives that I am gifting to you guys here on Michael Myers Monday Live here tonight. Tell me what you think. All right, give me 1 minute, everybody, and I'm gonna pull up our poll results here in just a second. Keep on commenting on those flashback weekend photos from 2015, 8 years ago this summer. I want to hear your comments. Once in a lifetime moments. That's what we look forward to capturing once again. Well, at all the conventions we go to, but especially at the upcoming 45 Years of Terror. All right, we are back. I am pulling up last week's poll results. We're going to look at that in just a minute. How are we doing so far? What do you guys think of those photos? Mike says, enjoying your channel. Glad to be a subscriber. We'll try to not to always overstay my welcome or ramble too much. I just love how, hey, you're right at home here. Yeah, ramble on, as they say. Ramble on. Especially when it comes to this stuff here on this channel. Vibe says Scout looks different. Well, it was 8 years ago. Alert says, love the photos. That's history right there. Hell yes, yeah. Historic moments. And that's just a taste. We've got others. It just occurred to me recently that, as much as we've published over the years, over the 10 plus years of HDN's existence, there's a lot that we haven't even published for whatever reason over the years. Some of it being photos. We've even got quotes from certain people, from interviews and stuff that weren't published for whatever reason at the time. So I look forward to unpacking and unearthing some of this never before seen stuff, and some just stuff that's going to be fun to talk about and flashback to as we're getting hyped for 45 years, and as we're just looking back and celebrating what HDN has done. Yes, a little bit of that, but celebrating our fandom for this franchise, and yeah, that's history for this franchise. Thank you. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Andromeda says even Ghostface knows Michael's king. That's why they take so many leads from the new trilogy. Oh yeah. Well, that whole franchise takes leads from this franchise, and it's kind of like its baby brother in a way. Rob, you are too kind. He says, when is the New York Post going to get their shit together and make the right phone call to you and Sue? Matt, you both deserve the big times interviews and pictures. You're killing it, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. That's right, Teen Wolf. Michael is the king. Direct Lock says at 45, we got to ask Malik about a video game. It's time. Could you imagine Halloween on the PS5? Yes, yes, and yes on all of that. I agree wholeheartedly. If Malik is there, I have no doubt he will be asked. If he participates in a Q&A, which he very well may, ask him if you're in the audience there. And yeah, I do think it's time. I've always said, well, not always, but in recent years, since we've been doing these Michael Myers Monday live streams, I think I've said whenever we talked about that subject of a Halloween franchise video game that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And we will absolutely get one in the very near future, I have no doubt. Good idea, Andromeda. Putting the photos in a book, maybe. Maybe at some point we'll do something like that. Something like the great Kim Gottlieb Walker did, a compilation of all of her photos from all the sets of the different John Carpenter movies where she was the official still photographer there. Something like that, maybe, where we were like an official photographer at some of these events as it pertains to the franchise, or maybe even the genre as a whole. I could get into that idea. I could get down with that. All right. Last couple of weeks, we've been posing a poll question here on YouTube in the community tab every week. And then the following week, here during Michael Myers Monday Live, we go over the results of the previous week's poll and we launch the new one. So that's what we're going to do here right now. Again, it's another way just to add a little bit of discussion and interaction here, and also to gauge literally where you guys stand on some of these things. So let's go over here right now to this week's poll. And as you can see, well, you could see, but for this week's poll question, we wanted to know what is your favorite alternate cut of a Halloween movie? And your options were Halloween 78, the TV cut, Halloween 2, 81, the TV cut, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers producer's cut, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, 09 director's cut, and the Halloween Kills extended edition. Now, Rob's 07 director's cut is also an option. YouTube, it only allows me to do 5 official options, and we always encourage people to write in their answers if they have some write-ins. So let's go over now to the results. As you can see, in 5th place is Rob's Halloween 02, 09 director's cut. In 6th place is the Halloween 2 81 TV cut. In 3rd place, with 16% of the vote, is The Curse of Michael Myers producer's cut. And in 2nd place, with 22%, is the Halloween 78 TV cut. And so your winner, after 146 votes, your winner with 53% of the vote, well over half of those 146 total votes, went to Halloween Kills Extended Edition. How about that? Say what you want, but the new trilogy wins in both of our most recent polls. Corey's Scarecrow mask won as your favorite mask, other than Michael's main one last week. And this week, the Halloween Kills Extended Edition wins. I love everything about the extended edition, honestly, except for the very last scene. While I appreciate its existence, and I appreciate the idea that, I appreciate the idea of it. I kind of like the theatrical ending of it. It's a little more abrupt. It doesn't have as big of a to be continued on it, and I like that better. It's a little darker. That said, everything else about the extended edition, the other extra scenes, that extra scene with Lonnie and the other stuff they add in there, really love that stuff. Okay, so with that, now we are going to launch this week's poll. Actually, it was launched at about 20 minutes ago, to be exact. But let's go ahead and bring it up here. We do already have a few votes already. 5 anyway, so far. All right, for this week's poll question, we want to know, who is your favorite Halloween franchise hero character? As always, if your pick is not among the 5 options, you can write it in the comments, and we encourage you to do so. We also encourage you to be sure to explain your vote in the comments. We want to hear your reasoning of why this is your favorite, and we will discuss the results during next week's Michael Myers Monday live show. Now, I can only put 5 options up here. I'd put more if I could, but our 5 options for favorite hero in the franchise are Dr. Loomis, Laurie Strode, Rachel from Halloween 4, Karen, Laurie's daughter from the recent trilogy, Allison, Laurie's granddaughter from the recent trilogy. And other options that I couldn't include in those 5 official options, but that I wanted to include, Tommy Doyle is a consideration I would consider for best hero. And again, when we're considering these characters, I'm asking you to consider every iteration of the characters. So both versions of Dr. Loomis, both versions of Laurie Strode, all versions of Tommy Doyle, even the 78 version. I think that kid's a hero in some ways. I put Rachel in there because I know she's a fan favorite and everybody loves her as a final girl for Halloween 4. But I think it would also be fair and legit. You could consider Jamie Lloyd a hero character for many of us. Even though at the end of Halloween 4, she arguably kind of becomes a bad guy, becomes a villain when she kills her mom, or her adopted mom. But in any case, you know, over the course of those 3 movies, she is a hero character, I would say. So, as you can see right now, just with the first 5 votes, we just launched a few minutes ago, but Lori in the clear lead already with 40%. Dr. Lewis and Rachel and Allison are all trailing each with 20%. No votes for Karen as of yet, but we just got going. So we encourage you to participate in the poll. And like I said, it'll be up all week in the community tab here on our YouTube channel. And then we will discuss the results next week right here during Michael Myers Monday Live. Teen Wolf says Tommy Doyle in H6 would have been an awesome successor to Loomis. The new Tommy was just a meat-headed jock by comparison. Yes, and yes, I agree with those sentiments. I love Paul Rudd's Tommy. Would love to meet Paul Rudd. Would love for him to be a part of 45 Years of Terror. I think that'd be a huge get and just unbelievable. Yeah, I love that version of Tommy. And when I think of Tommy as a hero, I think of that film. And I've talked to Daeg Faerch, the writer. I interviewed him, and he says that was the clear idea at the time, was that it would carry on, and Tommy would essentially be the new Loomis. I think there's conceivably an alternate timeline, another choose your own adventure version of this story where that version of Tommy can be realized. This version of Tommy, like you said, I'm not going to argue with your take on it. Maybe some missed opportunities there. Andromeda says Anthony Michael Hall was wasted. Yeah. I mean, he put in his all in that film. I mean, he really did, and he tried, and he did everything he could with everything he had. Let's see. Teen Wolf agrees the only cut for H2 is the director's cut. Remember, we're trying to find the regular release, and there was nothing available. Oh, yeah. With Zombies Theatrical, it's very hard to get a hold of, actually. But, yeah. I think the only one I own is a 2-pack with the theatrical of both. And that's my only theatrical copy of his H2, I think. It is kind of hard to find. Yeah, Mike agrees. Cool to see Michael behind the bush with Lonnie. Yeah, the extra kills. Yeah, I mean, it's the version I'll always watch. Don't get me wrong. I mean, why would I watch the theatrical when the extended has everything theatrical has plus more? Yeah, it's the one I'll always watch. Andromeda says Hall is such a great actor. He'd make a great Loomis, actually. Very interesting. I think that might be a good question for us to begin to ponder here, is who could be, would be a good, should be our next Loomis. And you could really open it a lot of different ways. I've said for some time that my hope, like if I was going to pitch something to Malik, and not just my hope, but kind of my prediction of this whole thing, is do a Young Loomis series. Set it in Smith's Grove during that 15-year period where Michael's there, but don't really have Michael in the show much, just kind of lurking and a shadow over everything. And let us really get to know Loomis and show us how maybe he did help a lot of people, a lot of dangerous people maybe. And I think that would be so fun to follow his adventures in an insane asylum where you could set it around Halloween every year, maybe culminating on October 31st each season, maybe, fingers crossed. But, you could almost do a case of the week where each week it focuses on another one of his patients. And each season of the show, there's one overriding case. And then there's that one big season-long overriding case, which is that Myers kid. And It'd be fun to see them take that character in that direction and really dive in and give that character the hero treatment that we all know he's already attained already. But I think with pop culture, I think they could really go a long way with making that character something special, much like they did with the Laurie Strode character over the last 5 years. That'd be my best pick, pitch, and hope, honestly, and prediction. That way, when they do it, I'll say, yeah, I said they were going to do that. All right. Wow, it's already almost midnight. How did that happen? All right, let's jump over here for shout outs real quick. You guys know what's up. Every week we do shout outs. Just a couple random tweets and Instagram posts using the Michael Myers Monday hashtag that just caught my eye for whatever reason. And we like to celebrate that because I started that hashtag 10 years ago, back in 2013, to celebrate Mondays and make them suck a little less, make them feel a little more killer, and celebrate our fandom of this fictional serial killer that we love so dearly. So let's hit it, guys. This one comes to us from Twitter, from the Boogeyman at the Shape 78. I just think it's a really good cosplay photo. I mean, that mask, that hair, that is on point. Another one from Twitter. This one comes from Linda Vanderclock, Totally Linda V, at Totally Linda V, part of the Halloween parody universe, the Halloween verse, Hallowverse. Linda today says the only thing more lame than Mondays are guys that don't bring you beer. Take that, Bob. One more from Twitter today. This comes from Chase at, oh, hey, it's Chase. Says simply once again, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Rocking their Fright Rags Halloween 78 tee. And now I'm going to move over to Instagram for just a couple. This first one comes to us from James Hernandez Multiverse. And I just dig that art. This one actually comes to us from the official Blumhouse horror account. That's right, Blumhouse getting into it. They say Myers Monday with Halloween Kills. I'll give them a pass. It's technically supposed to be Michael Myers Monday, guys, but I'll give them a pass because they shared one of the most badass scenes in this whole franchise. And I know you guys agree with me. Next up, from our friend, the great Tyler Main himself, who posted a little video message to us on this Michael Myers Monday. Here, let me pull that up for you. Here you go.
Yep, that's the blade.
Check it out.
Still bloody. Hey guys, Tyler Main here. Wanted to wish you guys a very happy Michael Myers Monday. So, make sure you have a really, really good week. Yep, that's the blade. Still bloody. Hey guys, Tyler Main here. Wanted to wish
You gotta love Tyler. His celebration of Michael Myers Monday. I absolutely love that. And last but certainly not least, Tyler's co-star in Halloween 07, our friend Great Daeg himself. Follow him on his new Instagram account. It's at Great Daeg Official. And here he shared this one today. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Reminding everybody that new interview with Halloween Daily News is dropping soon. Like I said, be sure to follow Daeg. And be sure to subscribe to us if you haven't already, so you don't miss any of our ongoing coverage of all things Michael Myers, all things Halloween franchise, Halloween holiday, Halloween candy, costumes, masks, horror, scary, everything in between. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of it. And look for that full interview with Daeg dropping Wednesday morning here on the HDN YouTube channel. If you like that clip, you're going to love it. There's a lot more where that came from. We go even further back and we go much further on. We talk about memories from the set, what it was like to kill one of the spy kids on screen, and more. So, very excited to share that one with you guys, and other surprises coming your way this week. Of course, the latest news. We're covering lots of other exciting stories. Like I said, I got another exclusive interview from another franchise we're working on this week. So you're going to want to keep your eye out for that. Lots of fun stuff that we're covering. New product releases are dropping almost daily right now. We've got some more exclusive animatronic news that we're going to be breaking here very soon on the channel. So you're going to want to check out all that good stuff. And of course, if you liked what we do here, well, plan on joining us every Monday where we talk nothing but Michael on Mondays. And the rest of the time here on the channel, we're always talking Michael. We're always covering this franchise, but it's just a small piece of everything we cover here, where we are all things Halloween on the HDN YouTube channel. So if you like this, you're going to want to join us for our other live streams and the other videos and conversations that we do here on YouTube, and other interviews coming up as well. And of course, you can always read more about everything we've talked about here tonight anytime on our main website, HalloweenDailyNews.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can contact us directly at HalloweenDailyNews.com/contact, or you can just leave a message down below. I will see it. I will respond. You can send us a DM on Instagram or your social media of choice, and follow us on all of those as well, wherever you spend most of your time, because while we put most of our YouTube video news here in the community tab first, usually, it is going to filter out to all the other places eventually. So whichever one you're on the most often, that gets your eyeballs sucked in the most, make sure you follow us there. And then follow us on the other ones for the hell of it too. Why not, right? Drown your feed in Myers content and Hallow content. That's what we're here for. Your daily dose of Hallow content, okay? All right, guys. This has been amazing. I'm going to look over here in the live chat one more time. I see David lighting it up. Oh, man. Yes, Andromeda, you just met Daeg. That's right, all of you. You just had your virtual meeting with Daeg. So you now have met a Michael Myers. Congratulations. That's awesome. Teen Wolf says, in this fandom, the stars actually enjoy the fans, and that's just awesome. Hell yes. It is awesome, and they do, and it is great. Next says, Daeg is good at doing music. Yes, we talk a lot about his music in the interview as well. Yeah, check out his music. He's dropping new stuff all the time. Let's see here. Brad says, happy Monday. Happy Michael Myers Monday. But Rob says, another killer show. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you as well. Mike felt bad for Karen. Felt like she wanted to do was have just peace in the family. She ended up dragged into it, dying. She was totally a hero in both 2018 and Kills. Yeah, she's definitely a hero character. Karen is Andromeda's second favorite, but no one beats Loomis. Yeah. I got a feeling Loomis is probably going to win this week's poll, but you never know. You never know with you guys. Sometimes you surprise me. But for the most part, I think I know where these are going to go sometimes. But like I said, some of these already have surprised me. All right, it is after midnight now. Thank you guys. It's been amazing. Andromeda. Yes, that's one of the best parts about this franchise. What Teen Wolf says, that the stars actually enjoy the fans. Even when one wins an Oscar, they bring us up with them like Jamie did, says Andromeda. Amen to that. She brought us all up there with her. And you guys saw after we talked about that, while we were on that Monday night, when I got off, I saw she had shared that meme somebody made of the Laurie Strode, and instead of holding the knife, she was holding the Oscar. And Jamie shared in all caps the words, "We won an Oscar." We, us, the Laurie Strode family. So, absolutely. The fans of this franchise are awesome, and the stars of this franchise, like you said, they are the best because they do love the fans, and that's on display whenever they come on here and talk to us, and whenever we've met them out at conventions, and I'm sure it will be more than ever and bigger than ever this fall at 45 Years of Terror. All right, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit us with a like. Hit us with a comment down below just to help with the algorithms. If you got nothing to say, just say good show or drop a lit jack-o'-lantern, whatever. Spread the word to like-minded people. If you don't have too many like-minded people in your neighborhood like us, I get it. We don't either. That's why I live here with you guys. I live here in the Matrix with you guys because it's a lot better, honestly. So I get it. But if you do have friends here or elsewhere within the Matrix, let them all know where we're at, that we're here every Monday. And it's Halloween here every day, in fact, on the HDN YouTube channel. All right, guys. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. You guys rule. And happy Michael Myers Monday.